Hello, good evening, and welcome back to Shooting the Shit, a Tottenham talk show with me, leader Dorset Spur. We are now up to an unbelievable episode 14, which is mad to believe we've got that far. I am today still with my good friends, the Essex boys, as they're now become known. Pat, Tay, and Rolf, or whatever the other fella's name is, all in a line there. First thing to say. Good evening, gentlemen. How are you today? You all good? Dean, you all right, mate?
Yeah, I'm good, mate. You?
Yeah, not too bad. Are you in a good mood?
Yeah, I'm in a fairly good mood.
Good. Still sad, sweary Alex. How you doing, mate? You all right? Do you need a hug?
Not from you, no. No, apart from that, yeah, I'm all good, mate. I'm all good.
Good. Mason, how you looking, son? You all right? Looking very thoughtful there on my screen. Are you okay?
Yeah, no, better than last week.
He's 21 now.
Yeah. 21.
It was his birthday yesterday.
21 and never been kissed.
Yeah. Bad, isn't it?
Been shagged plenty, never been kissed.
That's my son you're talking about there, by the way. Just so you let you know.
All right, calm down. Don't get all like that. Don't get all lemon. Listen, let's get straight.
Open you up, pal.
All right, you can take your jelly deals and cough down the Thames. You carry on.
I'll open your canister up, pal. You carry on. All right. Hey.
Like, let's crack on because there's actually people watching this. Can you believe it? There's actually people watching it. So, hello, everybody. How are you all feeling today? You all feeling all right? Let us know in your comments. Come on, give us some comments in there. Let us know that you're all feeling good. You're all feeling warm and fuzzy and happy to talk about Tottenham. It's been a week. We've lost our team for a week, and now we're pining. We're pining back for our team. Surely we are pining back for our team. Listen, first things first. Dean, let me come to you. Are you over the Ipswich loss now? Are you all right?
I'm all right. It seems like the internet still isn't over the Ipswich loss. We get spanked every time I put it on. There's a book out, right? And it's all about the trophy, Spurs like trophy wins or Spurs wins in the new millennium, right? It's empty pages, and everybody's so funny, and all talking about being Spursy. I'm so sick of that title. But when you do that, when you have that the Ipswich loss, you can't shake it, can you? You can't shake. It does my nut, and I'm sick of everybody going, oh, well, Tottenham lost this and Tottenham didn't do that and Tottenham should have won more. Even Glenn Hoddle, the mighty Hod, right?
I talk about
it. Off, right? I don't know if anybody see he was on with Gary Neville and Roy Keane and all that talking about us, and he was going, to do is to dare. I mean, ain't you prick? It's to dare is to do, right? So even you did the fucking idiot didn't even get that right. But yes, Lee, I'm fine. I am over it. Can you tell?
Yeah, you sound really.
I'm not.
Well. You sound really well. All right, Alex, how are you?
Yes.
Mate? How are you feeling?
I'm still sad. Look, I'm still sad. I still can't get over it. I meet people every day, and they talk about football. You tell them, yeah, I'm a Spurs support, mate, season ticket holder, and all that sort of stuff. Straight away, they start talking about the Ipswich game. And you think, right, you're going to rip his head off. But no, you can't. Yeah, I know, mate. Yeah, I know. I'm not over it. And don't mention Glenn Hoddle. He should. No, we can't mention Glenn Hoddle because he's not on my Christmas card list. Do you know what I mean? But no, I'm still very sad about it. I still can't get over that game.
Mason, what about you, mate? Are you over it now? Are you feeling kind of it's gone, it's in the past, time to move on?
I wouldn't say over it, but I would say I'm not feeling anything, I'm not still angry at it, but no, not over it, I should say. I still look back at it and it's 3 points that easily should have been won. But no, just what can you do? What can you do?
Have any of you actually watched the game back at all?
Yeah.
Have you watched the whole game, or did you just watch like the highlights or something?
I watched the extended highlights.
I watched the whole game, and it's just as bad as when we were sitting in there.
Right. I was going to ask that question. Right? Is sometimes you watch you watch it live. We all know you get a different perspective when you're live as opposed to when you're actually watching it on TV and all the rest of it. And I was just wondering, I haven't done it. I've watched highlights, but highlights don't tell you everything. But I'm thinking, like, if you watch the whole game, was it really that bad? Was we really that bad, Dean?
Yeah, we just didn't go into any of the tackles. That was the hardest bit for me. When you look at what was up for grabs, to go third just before the international break, right, and to not put the effort in. I think that was like the worst bit for me. The amount of times we could have just gone into a tackle or won a second ball or the third ball even. We just didn't. They just went past us. But again, fair play to Ipswich. They haven't been tonked. And Ryan and Pete, who sit next to me, like Ryan lives in Ipswich now, and he was saying, "No, we could do these a good tonking. It'd be brilliant. I could go outside and like have a laugh at their expense." But it just didn't happen. They wanted it more than us, and that shouldn't be the case. It shouldn't be the case. I mean, the amount of times you see like Ange out and Ange out, I don't think I don't think it should be Ange out because it's got to be down to the players. You know, I hear people sort of slagging us off, like Goldbridge slags us off because we said, oh, you know, we wanted like City to win, tongue in cheek, because we wanted to win every game because you don't want your team to lose.
No.
But at the same time, we didn't want Arsenal to win. But we didn't want our team to lose, you know, and the players couldn't, obviously, you know, Sonny coming through on that goal. That went in a totally different scenario. But that game, the Ipswich game, we just didn't play. I mean, we didn't go for any tackles, any real sort of duels. The first goal, like we said the last podcast, that how Smodic had the time for that ball to come over, look at it and go, I'll tell you what I'll do an overhead kick. Right, Rooney's done it, and there's a few other players that have done it, and that was just brilliant. It was like it was like a good goal, but a goal that we should have stopped at source, so the ball shouldn't have come over. And Brennan Johnson should have been right tight. You didn't have to sort of like you push him off. That's what they do to us, but we just didn't do it. So yeah, in that respect, we didn't deserve anything out of the game. We didn't play well enough, and you know we was outthought.
Mason, was that your view? Having watched the extended highlights, you agree with that?
100%. Yeah, no. Ipswich come only to walk away with points. We kind of expected points, but they played for it. They deserved it. I still think that Romero to this day, as I said recently, Romero's been playing like Davinson Sanchez. It's like, what's happened? Looking back at the highlights, he was a wall in the second half, but in the first half, Christ, he's like we had Big Dav back.
Yeah, disappointing. I've got to say, I haven't watched it again. I did think about it. Shall I watch it? I've watched highlights, but the highlights just basically show you the opportunities you had. And to be fair, there was a fair few opportunities. We had some opportunities to score goals. We didn't put them in there. But on the day, watching it, just felt it was a really poor performance, really lazy and lackluster and everything else. So, but yeah, if it's still the same, it's still the same. But it sounds like we're all over it now. Sounds like we're all over it. We've moved on. So listen, we're now at a situation where the Premier League is back this weekend. So, Dean, are you looking forward to the weekend? Are you looking forward to football coming back?
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough game. Again, to be a tough game. I was looking at the fixtures and the run of games that we've got. There's not many in there you think, oh yeah, we should be taking that. We should be taking points from that one, taking points for that. If we're not careful, in a couple of weeks, we could be down 13th, 15th place. If we don't start like pulling our boots on and having a go, we could be really in free fall. It won't take long. I know I don't want to be sort of the Debbie Downer or whatever, but because we've got enough strength in that team to win the games. But you look at it and you think, Christ, yeah, they're all tough games, winnable if we start to play. I mean, City, that's a good game for us because we do well at them and we do well when they come down here. So, but again, it's up to them to find out whether or not we are prepared to play.
Yeah, Alex, are you looking forward to the football coming back? Have you missed it? Have you missed Tottenham not being there? You know, we've had the bad game and everything. We're moving on from it. You're ready to get back into it. You're ready for your next fix. Is he talking or is he talking on mute? Is it just me?
He's not on mute, no. Sound's gone though.
Ray!
What are you doing, Alex?
Oh no.
Technology, mate.
Technology again. No worries.
So it's not just me who can't hear him.
No, sign language.
No.
Sign language.
Yeah, sign language.
No, can't hear you, mate. Mason, I'll come to you while Alex goes off and comes back or whatever he's going to do. Are you looking forward to the football coming back? Are you ready for your fix of football?
100%. I mean, I don't think we can drop points, as people say. It's every year. Lose to a relegation side, go and get a result against City. I reckon a draw or a win, maybe. City have been poor, but then again, if we win, we go third. So where Dean was saying, if we don't switch on now, we'll go 15th. It's at the start of the season still. If we win, we go third, and we're 10th. So it's just got to play our cards right. I think personally we will play better than City. They've been playing atrociously, but obviously it's always a different story when we play them lot. They could play better, we win. We could play better, we lose. It's hard to tell, but I am confident going into it.
It's really difficult, isn't it? When you're a football fan, and you're not particularly into international football, which I'm not. It's quite difficult when this period of international football, because all it is full of rumours and stuff like that. I know there's a fair few we can kind of go through tonight, but again, I'm the same as you. I think it would be absolutely Spursy, to coin that horrible phrase, for us to go away, go up to Man City and actually get a result after losing to Ipswich, wouldn't it? You could kind of see it written in the stars, really, couldn't you? That could happen, right? And how would we love that? And what a difference that would make, right?
I mean, we've done it a few seasons upon seasons in a row now. I want to say, do you remember when we lost 1-0 to Burnley? But the game before we beat City, even City as it is now, beat City 2-1, lose to Ipswich, and now we've got City again. It's just how it works. But I think going into it, we'll be confident, very confident.
Yeah. I mean, as Nigel says here, we've won 3 away league games all season, and now playing a very wounded Man City, a team that's lost their last 4 games and stuff, and now they're going to be desperately keen to win that game, and they'll know that we've had a bit of a shocker this season, but they'll also know that we've given them good games in the past. Mm-hmm. So it's going to be one of those, isn't it? It's going to be really difficult. I think to go back to Darren's comment about not having Romero and Van der Ven, that means that we're then going to be with Davies and Dragushin. So it could be a difficult day.
You got to remember the last time we pulled up to them, we had Brian Gill, Davies, and I think who was it? It was Davies and someone else at the centre half. It wasn't
Emerson
Romero
Royale.
and Van der Ven. It was Emerson and Davies.
Yeah.
We had the same depleted squad. Brian Gill, he played very well that game, but then obviously didn't get minutes at all coming after that. But it's just how we play. I think going into it, everyone knows City's a massive team. So all the youngsters, obviously, like where I've always thought this, where we'll go and play West Ham, go play Arsenal. Yeah, they know it's a rivalry, but bringing in the foreign players, they know beat the big teams. Man City, huge. I think that's why we get such good results, but it's just because everyone knows got to beat City, got to beat United. But when it comes down to the local derbies, West Ham, Arsenal, Chelsea, sometimes we drop points. But it's always against City for some reason. Our players just remember and go, fucking hell, the champions, we've got to beat them. So I think we're going to be going in with a lot of confidence, especially with a lot of players coming away from a good international break, apart from Romero. I did see he was injured, but...
Yeah. No, I am kind of looking forward to the game, because I think you can go into this one and think to yourself, well, it don't matter what we do, right? It doesn't matter how we play, whether we win, whether we lose, or whatever. No one's expecting us to win. So if they're not expecting us to win, we can play without fear. And then if we get a result, brilliant. If we don't get a result, well, it's expected. But for me, I guess the main thing is, how are we going to play? because you really need some pressure taken off of Ange to make sure that this pressure that we're kind of seeing in the media and on social media gets kind of toned down a little bit, because it's not going very well at the moment, is it at all?
No.
Looks like Alex may be coming back. Alex, are you back? Can we hear you?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, hallelujah.
Yeah.
Judging by the wire, the
Oh,
headphones died.
No, they didn't die. No, they didn't die. I turned the phone off and on, Mason. So shut up.
And why is it
Right.
Rebooted.
What was the
I think
question?
it's the technical term for that is rebooted, mate. So
Rebooted.
the question before you were so rudely interrupted by your headphones or whatever was,
Yes.
are you ready for the Premier League to come back? Are you looking forward to having football back in your face?
Well, as I was saying, I don't know who Debbie Downer is, but yeah, I wasn't until I listened to Dean's prediction. But yeah, no, I am. Yeah, as always. I always try to keep a bit positive, mate. Trying to get over the Fulham game. I'm looking forward to our next games. You know, I think we should do all right. But then I'm forever the optimistic. Remember, I go for the day. I go out for the day out first, football second. To see you, lovely lot.
Oh, bless you. Bless you. Now, listen, there is something going on that's been announced today around the Chelsea game. So there is apparently, I don't know whether you've seen this, but there is a TIFO going to go up for the Chelsea game. So, and I saw this tweet from THFC Flag. So I know we've been doing an awful lot of stuff trying to get the atmosphere back at the lane and everything else. So they're looking for volunteers. So I'll put a shout out for that as well. Volunteers to come and lay the flags out and so on. But actually, what they're going to put out is that Order est vestra. To dare is to do. What do you reckon of that? What do you reckon of that, boys? Good stuff.
Yeah, I like it. As long as we can spell it right and someone doesn't fuck it up by putting the things in a different position. It's been quite funny, but no, it looks quite smart.
Yeah, what's your views on it, Alex? What's your views on the idea of trying to get more atmosphere and more things going on to kind of push things along? It can be a bit of a soulless blow sometimes. Stuff like this can only be positive, right?
Yeah, I like that. I like stuff like that. But I think we've mentioned before, the easier way of getting an atmosphere together, you know, is by putting the fans that want to be involved, that want to be loud, that are there for the team. That we should all be together. We shouldn't be with the one day fans, girlfriend, boyfriends, tourists, whatever you want to call them. You know, we should be separate from them. It should be, you know, the season ticket holders should all be bunched together as such, or fans that want to be there. That would improve it pretty quick. No, I don't know. Not really.
It is difficult depending on where people want to buy their tickets, right? Because I'm in the south stand. Dean, you're in the shelf side. You're in the shelf side. Mason, where are you? You south stand.
I'm south stand, yeah.
So, like, between the four of us, we're all in different places. And I quite like where I stand, and I'm sure you guys like where you are. So, you know, you've got to get that consensus of people that want to be in a certain thing. I agree that maybe the south stand should be designated a singing stand, all standing, and that if you're in that thing, that's what you know you're going to get. But it's kind of getting that put in place, because you will have people buy tickets wherever they can get a ticket and so on and so forth. Can't
No, I agree, mate. I agree. They should do something to improve it. But I do like what they're doing, though, because that does look smart.
Me too. Dean,
I don't like the flags. Sorry, Lee. I don't like the big flags. I don't like that. That gets on my tits. That. Yeah.
Why is that? What's your issue with the flags? Is there something specific that gets on your nerves? Is it because they get in people's way, or?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, when they score, you know, the flags will go up. You start waving about. Whoever's behind the flag won't be able to see anything. I just think they're a bit annoying.
Yeah. Dean, what's your view on this TIFO? You think it's a good idea? Something you'd like to see happening a bit more regularly?
Yeah, like I say, the problem with the south stand is when we were sold the south stand, it was going to be the Great White Wall, the big white wall, the white wall of sound, whatever they conjured it up, because it was supposed to like replicate like Dortmund's big great yellow wall, right? I've been to Dortmund, and that yellow wall is absolutely phenomenal. They've got like people all at front, people with megaphones shouting and getting everybody up and bumping and jumping and singing, and it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. All right, we beat them and it was funny. However, at the time they were still singing. It was great. You look at AC Milan when their fans are going, Olympiacos, it's brilliant. For some reason, whether it's we're more reserved, whether it's our places, like I said before, it's become a tourist attraction as well. The people behind me, I don't think I've ever seen the same people in the row of seats behind me twice. Couple of rows back, I know them, and like to either side of me, I know them, and like to around the ends. But majority of them are changing over and over and over because the people have bought them and have bought them to make money off of them. It's simple because they're all American or French, Italian, South Korean. Especially when sun is on form and it's and like the weather's better, it's just full. Brilliant because obviously we must be making a lot of money. Or somebody is, but at the same time, it's not conducive to a loud atmosphere. It's not the shelf side of old. Same as the Park Lane, like South Stand. That's not the South Stand of old. Every now and again, when you play Arsenal, you play West Ham, a good game, right? The place is really noisy. When that's noisy, that is really noisy. But when it's quiet, man, it is like the library, and nobody wants that.
No, I agree. I think it's a real difficult one, right? And football in this country is so different. Like if you go to a lot of the European away days, as some of us have, you will see a lot of the fans that support those teams are all local, right? So a lot of them probably know each other, probably all go to the same spot, or you've got that freedom to kind of stand and all the rest of it. Whereas in this country, you're stuck with you can't even have a bottle cap for your bottle of Coke. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of the fans come from all over the place, don't they? I mean, if you look at us, I mean, I'm down here in Dorset, and we come up. Most of the times we bring a good minibus full, if not 2 minibus fulls, sometimes 3 minibus fulls. But we're coming all the way from Dorset, and there's people. You've got supporters clubs from all around the country: Somerset Spurs, Isle of Wight Spurs, Punjabi Spurs. You've got all those guys. Yorkshire Spurs, they're kind of everywhere, all kind of travelling down. And we're all kind of spread all over the place. So you can't really, unless you're going regularly and being with the same crowd regularly, you can't really build that camaraderie. And I think that's real difficult for us. And in our stand, what you've got is every 2 minutes, there's stewards going, sit down, or the bloke behind you saying, sit down because you're knocking him into his pizza or whatever it is. So it's a totally different culture for the football now, because it's not what it was, where it was just fans getting out there doing their thing, letting off steam and having a good old sing-song. Now it's very reserved and all that. It's more corporate, even when you're not in the corporate. So it's a bit of a difficult one. But I do like the Tifo kind of idea. Mason, you're a younger fan, right? So what do you think about this? What do you think about this sort of thing with Tifos and stuff like that? You think it adds to the overall quality of the day?
On the day, yeah. But it's just a bit. It's the fact that the fans have got to fund it is what gets on my nerves. So yeah. all the flags, all of the Tifos, it's not funded by the club. It's people donating to keep it going, to keep the atmosphere going. That's what annoys me, because you'll see Liverpool with the COP stand. That's all club funded. Arsenal, that's all club funded. Even Chelsea, all of their stuff's club funded. But for some reason, when it comes to us, there's always little bits of money saving everywhere with our club, and it gets on my nerves a bit that the fans have got to try and especially now with the new logo, they're trying to make this such a corporate sense business instead of a football club. Like, yeah, right. Don't get me wrong, the logo's a logo, but what's the point in removing the name? Like, are you trying to
and how much did it cost?
Yeah, well, and how much did it cost? But are they trying to disassociate the name from the brand? I don't understand what's going on with that. I don't get why they've done that. But it just seems to me that football right now is becoming more and more corporate. Like the whole, I'm going to turn around and there's a bloke tucking into his 12-inch pepperoni pizza and his katsu curry and all that. Like, fair enough, get some food, whatever. But it's the fact that they're the same people that sit there and go, "Well, sit down." No, we're in the safe standing bit. That's what annoys me. It seems to me that we have a very, very loyal, passionate fan base, but at the same time, we don't get rewarded for that. But we all see the other lot all the way around. Even City, they got no fans, which is quite funny. And even all of their stuff is funded by the club. It really just does get on my nerves.
Yeah, no, I mean, we talked a bit, obviously, about someone earning a lot of money out of the club, and we all know that it ain't us, It ain't the fans, right? We all know that Mr. Levy's getting a fair old wedge out of all of this stuff. We could talk about that. We can talk about the badge thing now. I've got it on my list of things to talk about because it is a bit of a hot topic, right? And there's two sides to the argument, I guess, right? So if you've been around, or if you don't know, let's share it up here, right? So if you don't know, which you must be living under a rock if you don't know, this is what they're talking about, changing the logo to. So they're taking away the Tottenham Hotspur to make this part of it a bit bigger. Now, to your point, Alex, how much did it cost for them to spend 9 months to come up with an idea just to remove the Tottenham Hotspur bit from that badge? Like,
with my opinions of the people that organise these things is just an utter money wasting, time wasting load of bollocks, because all they've done is just deleted it and gone, yeah, look at that, and that cost you like £1 million. I think it's disgraceful, to be honest with you. I mean, well, why get rid of the Tottenham Hotspur bit underneath it when it represents Tottenham Hotspur? You know,
I mean, there's the other argument to this, which we've seen, is that's been the badges that we've had, right? And it's only been in these last couple of badges where it's actually had Tottenham Hotspur underneath it, right? So the argument is, it's not always been there. If you go back to the beginning, there's actually no football or anything, right? And I get all of that. I get all that argument. The thing for me that makes this a bit different is that if this wasn't ENIC doing this, if this wasn't the way we've seen our football club turned, I think this wouldn't be such an issue. Because I'm quite happy. I mean, on the kit, it doesn't have Tottenham Hotspur written underneath it anyway. It just has the cockerel, right? So, but had this been a different time with a different owner, I don't think it would be such an issue. Dean, what do you think about this? All this badge change? Is it a big deal for you?
No, not at all. Like Alex said, though, the amount of money they probably spent on it is ridiculous. But you know, I've got a Tottenham top on. It don't.
I got a Tottenham top on. Yeah, mine says that.
Yeah. Oh, that's old school, mate. That's shit.
I know, but it's smart though, isn't it? Look at shit.
No, get rid of it. Get rid of it because it's
I
not
put
like
bricks
that
for
now.
your fucking window. You carry on.
No, the new one's not like it, is it? They've like.
No, no.
We'll just chop that bit off and let's say someone's gone out there with one of them fucking like. Do you remember Paint on the old Microsoft, right? And they've gone out there with the rubber bit and gone. That's you'll keep that one.
9 months.
Just absolute rubbish, mate. But hey, you know, everybody does it. I mean, is it Everton's one that where it used to be the castle with a thing wrapped around it? Then it's just a square now on their kit. It's just odd. I mean, I don't know. They have to have a rebrand for having a rebrand's sake. I think that nearly every team's done it in their past. So yeah,
I get it. I do get it. I do get the fact that people, you know, it is something. It's a rebrand. It happens all the time, and all the rest of it. And like I say, it's not always said Tottenham Hotspur underneath it and all that kind of stuff. But I think the reason why people are getting really irate about it at this moment in time is more because of everything else that's going on with the club, with, you know, the fact that we've got all the concerts and the rugby and the NFL and all the rest of it. And it feels like they're eroding everything else around the football and making it into something else. And again, I understand that. Like from a business point of view, you understand it's making the club sustainable and blah blah blah. But I get more emails about what's going on there, and Black Friday deals and not gang gliding, what they call it, abseiling, women's football, NFL. I get to hear all about that. When I'm not interested in any of it, personally, I'm interested in Tottenham Hotspur Football Club. That's what I want. But I guess in today's market, we can't just go along that road. Mason, what do you think of the badge thing? I know you started talking about it, but do you ultimately think it's a massive deal for you, or can you see the other side of it?
It's not a massive deal, but it's just one of those things that's annoying, because it is at the moment. I feel like the club's going in a direction where they're trying to make it a brand rather than a football club. But then again, if they're trying to sell up, you got to have some sort of brand, which I do think they're trying to do at the moment. I think all signs are pointing towards them looking to sell up. You got to think the wage bill. They're trying to get that right down. Every bit of money saving method, they're trying to get that. Even the logo now, as I say, they're trying to make it into a brand. It's just more accessible to put onto shirts, if I'm being honest. Like going forward now, I don't know if it's going to make a difference. It sounds stupid, but going forward now, anything that has Tottenham Hotspur on it, for a hoodie or a jumper or a coat, it's not going to have that anymore. Is that another form of money saving? I don't get it. But it's just, go on.
No, I was just saying, like, it's Tottenham Hotspur. I think it should be on the badge, and it should be on our tops. Otherwise, it's just another hoodie with a badge on it.
Well, the thing is, what is that stadium called? It's not White Hart Lane anymore. What's it
called?
What's it called?
Tottenham Hotspur Stadium.
I just so unless there's a big rebrand coming in.
Not the races, yeah.
Yeah, so it could well be that. It could be something like, okay, we're having a rebrand. We've sold the naming rights, therefore taking away the Tottenham Hotspur. I mean, they was going to call White Hart Lane Station the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium or Tottenham Stadium or something along them lines, but that didn't happen. So it's still the White Hart Lane, and everybody goes there. We don't go, oh, we're going to like the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. We're going down the lane. That's what
we do because we're older fans. We do because we're older fans. But I guess, I mean, the thing for me is one of the things I've always thought about the fact that they haven't sold the naming rights was to keep the branding of the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. When you're having massive boxing matches, NFL, rugby, concerts, and all the rest of it, does that promote Tottenham Hotspur more? The fact that it's at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, I've always tried to be a little bit positive about it, I guess, is what I'm saying. But this badge thing, initially, I've got to be honest with you, initially I was fuming about it. I was like, how dare they take away something else? Yet again, every reference to Tottenham. This is our football club. And that's because we're passionate fans. We care about the football club. But at the same time, like I saw that thing with all the different badges that we've had on there, and the fact that it's never always said Tottenham on it and all the rest of it. And I'm like, well, does it really matter? But I think a lot of it is about the time that we live in and the fact that we are seeing the football team, as in the men's football team, becoming a lot less of the focal point. That's how it feels. It's a lot less of the focal point, and it's more about, Tottenham Hotspur, the umbrella of it as a business, as a brand, and as a place to go and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of what's gone in my head anyway.
I mean, if you remember the old days, they used to have the Spurs shop was an old petrol station. I don't know if you remember that as you're walking down the high road.
Yeah.
On left hand side, and you had a couple of burger vans. But now, everything that was in there, it's just massive. It's just massive, the Spurs shop, like one of the biggest in Europe or whatever it is. But in there now, as you walk through the door, is obviously all the Tottenham kit, plus the F1 drive kit, plus all the NFL stuff.
Yeah.
So, you can't knock him, really. You can't knock Levy for doing what he's doing, because you look at all these other people that have spent like absolute millions that now can't spend it at all because of financial fair play and all these other things, where we've done, and we still can spend because we're allowed to. And that's all because he's like, he's clever. He ain't a stupid man. So
no,
can't knock him for that. But at the same time, it feels like we're always not buying from Lidl and rather from sort of M&S. Do you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean, he's got the money because financial fair play says that we've got the money. They're making more money now than they've ever made and all the rest of it. And yet we're still picking up all the kids and all the rest of it. Again, I know we've talked about it, but I get it because we want the club to be sustainable. We want the players to be young enough to keep us going and all the rest of it. But we've still got to do something for now because that's what we pay our money for. The highest prices of any other football club in the Premier League. We pay the most, and yet we don't see the benefit of doing all of that, which is really, really frustrating.
That's the thing, though, because we do, as of recent, we have been spending. Whether it's wise, not is another topic. But Solanke, isn't that 70 mil, 65? Brennan Johnson, 65. Romero, 50. Van der Ven, 40. Like we have been picking up the money, picking up the players and spending quite a bit. It's just, it's frustrating when we see our people like the lot down the road and Chelsea and everyone else. They'll go, 100 mil, I'll buy you. But I don't think we'll ever get to the point where we're going to go spend £100 million on a player. But like, it's the fact that City can go and.
But don't you think that 100 mil?
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I was just going to, because you made the point about the 100 mil, which I really get, and I think it's a really important point, right? That was a season where they're at the point where they're needing to add 1 or 2 players, where we're in a situation where we needed to add 22 players. Is that the difference?
Yeah.
Do you think maybe in the future, if we get to a point where all we need is a really good goalkeeper or a really good centre back or a really good number 6, that we do go out and just have that final piece into the puzzle? I don't know.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's why Arsenal bought Declan Rice, because that's what they needed. They needed a holding midfielder who was young, who can play the ball forward, even though he don't fucking play the ball forward. When we get told about how great he is doing it, that's who they wanted. It's the fact I'm seeing Chelsea going Enzo Fernandez, 100 mil, Caicedo, 100 mil, Vardio, a left back, 100 mil. It's just like even Manchester United, Liverpool, like Anthony, he was nearly 100 million. Darwin Núñez, he was about 90. But we will never spend that money. And I'm kind of thankful for it. The fact that we don't have situations like we have an Anthony on the wing or a Vardio, who is a great player, but he's not £100 million. It's just, it's a bit frustrating how we're seeing. It seems to be that the gap's getting bigger and bigger and bigger in terms of spending. Newcastle has spent more than us. It's just getting annoying. Aston Villa has spent more than us.
I guess you got to look at it and go, well, at this moment in time, Newcastle still haven't done anything. Aston Villa still haven't done anything. Arsenal technically still haven't done anything.
Good job, really.
Chelsea have been going through a really difficult time. Liverpool are Liverpool. Man United, they've had a couple of cups which they don't even care about, which is crazy because of their arrogance of where they've been in the past.
Yeah.
Look, that's going to get depressing, right? So just to move it on a little bit, because there's been loads of, obviously, because it's a slow news day for all these people, Talk Sport and all those kind of people, Sky and so on. There's been reports this week about Ange falling out with some of the players, some of these so-called big players, especially the Italians apparently, and Romero. Dean, are you buying any of that, or do you just think it's a bit of clickbait to fill the gap?
Yeah, we seem to be getting picked up, but we always have done. I mean, like I say, you just listed off all these teams that haven't won anything, right? Loads of teams in the Prem have not won a thing. However, you ain't got a trophy. What a trophy? What this? What that? For some reason, we are the Millwall. We really are. Everybody hates us. I don't know what we've done. I don't know what it is. Yeah, we used to be so successful. 26 trophies we've won. But because people can't think back past the Premier League inception, that they don't think we've won anything. Right? So we do. It seems like there is a bit of a vendetta against us. But fuck them. As for not falling out with players, you're going to get that. If you're the manager and you're telling them to do something and it's something that they don't want to do, it's just the way it is. You've got to do what he says. If you're not doing what he says, then when you come on there and then it all falls to bits, it ain't Andy's fault because he's told you to do that and you don't want to do it. So it is tough. You're sort of, as Ange, you're damned if you do and damned if you don't. He can only do so much. I don't think he helps himself with the way he stands on the touchline, right? There's no history on it. There's no sort of jumping up and down. I mean, we've had Conte, we've had Mourinho doing it. But he doesn't. He just stands with his hands on his pockets. And I think that's why he gets what he gets from a lot of the fans, because we want to see some passion. We want to see some heart. We want to see some fight. But you're not getting that from him. But that's not his style. And he's won stuff in the past. But how many times have we seen a manager come to Spurs going, I've won stuff everywhere else apart from Tottenham?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Ange going to be another one of those? Is he going to be another one that's come to Spurs with a winning mentality, won loads of things, and then nothing?
In terms of, so if Nigel said on, he thinks it's a Football Insider, a load of bollocks. It's just a load of rubbish, and we do kind of getting picked on. So in terms of all of that, Alex, what do you think? Should the manager have the upper hand, or do you stand with the players? If the players are not happy with the manager and that, do you side with the players or do you side with the manager? What's your stance on that?
I think the manager's there for a reason. The manager's got ideas, and manager's got the foresight how he wants the team to play and where he wants to take them. And the players should do as they're told. It's as simple as that. Shit travels downhill. I don't think the players should dictate, to the manager. Like, obviously, he's got to listen to their ideas, and he's got to be acceptable. I mean, my little team, I'm acceptable to ideas, people's thoughts. You've got to take thoughts on board, but and ideas on board. Ange probably comes across as a bloke that doesn't really do that. So that might be frustrating. If they think they're not being listened to or their ideas aren't being listened to, considering they're out on the pitch. But I don't think players should dictate to the manager if you like him or not. And if you like your manager or not, you've got to show support because he's the manager until the point that he's not the manager. But like what Dean said, he's not animated enough on the sideline, which some people do like. But then again, we've said before, maybe he doesn't need to jump up and down like a fucking idiot, like that bloke down the road. Maybe he's come across to the players and said what he wants to the players before the match and at half time. So, I mean, how many times have we seen us come out second half and play completely different from the first half, and he's still got the same stance? So maybe we don't see, unless we make a documentary, but his technique or his style, what he says in the changing room. So, but no, I think the players really should be mature enough to support the manager until he's not the manager, if that makes sense. I don't think it should be the other way around because that's unfair. That's unfair.
It does make sense. I've been a people manager myself for nearly 40 years, and one of the things about being a people manager is you've got to think about the person and how you interact with that person. So one way of working doesn't work for everybody.
Work with the other. Exactly.
So he will need to build those relationships with the individuals, but collectively they should support him because ultimately he's the guy who's paying the price, right? If it all goes wrong, if it all goes tits up, he's the bloke who gets the sack. They're still picking up their 100, 200 grand a week without worrying about it when they're not performing. And I think it was Dean who said the other week about if you're a bricklayer and you build a wall and it's like this, surely the geezer who's in charge, the foreman in charge, is in his right to come along and go, you can knock that wall down and rebuild it, surely. Right? So, and the bricklayer ain't going to go, oh, that's not fair. I like it like this. It's not what he's paid to do. So you've got to take criticism, right?
But I think also, Lee, like we've said before, it appears that he's given the team a creative license. Off you go, do what you can do. So I don't think there are many. Correct me if I'm wrong, Mason. I don't think there's many managers like that. So if he's saying this is how I want you to play, build on it, put your penny's worth in, then to me that would be a good method. But like I say, I wouldn't listen to the news too much, mate. Like I say, it's just filling holes. But if it is true, then like I say, the players should get behind the manager and should support him all the way. But saying that, he has got to listen to any ideas or any thoughts that they have, and I'm sure he does.
When he first came in, right? When he first came in and he was doing all the Sky Sports thing, he was really funny. Everybody loved him. But now he comes in, he's like, yeah, nah. It has changed him without a doubt. And he was the first one to say, I'm not the sort of person to put your arm around his shoulder and go, everything okay at home? You all right there? You all right this? He's not a people person. He said, I'm a football manager. I manage these people. So I think he's still got a lot to learn because obviously Premiership players are like prima donnas. They get paid stupid amounts of money to kick a ball about, right? And their job is one person in one end to stop the ball going in. He has 3 or 4 people in front of him to stop the ball to come through to going in him. The people in the middle to give it to the people at the front to put it in the back of a net. It's not hard, but for some reason we make it so hard with our ticky-tacky, side to side, have a shot. So yeah, I don't understand his gameplay from one game to the next, but he doesn't want to change. He's hoping it's going to work. He's hoping it's going to click, and if it clicks, we'll be brilliant. But when you haven't got Van der Ven in that back line to run back, and that's why he keeps getting broken because he keeps having to run back. We're so far up. We're playing such a high line that he's got to run. I hate to think how many yards that poor soul has to run, like in a season. Well, not so much now because he's like on a in an hospital bed. But at the same time, you can't keep doing that because you're going to keep breaking players, which is what we keep doing.
So,
I mean,
do you think he's getting the players are getting frustrated indeed with the way he wants them to play? So they're kicking back a bit.
Yeah, I mean, you look at it at the same time. If you're told you've got to run and run and run and run and run, after a while, your body goes, no, not today. So they do sort of step back and step back. But if you're getting paid this amount of money and you're told to run, then you run. But if you look at other teams, they're getting paid sort of similar amounts of money, winning their games, but not running as hard and as much as we do. Then they look around going, why are we doing this? Tell me again. Because I'm telling you to. Well, we're knackered. So the next game, that we want to play, it's like win one, lose one, win one. Because we're running 100 miles an hour, then you're knackered. So you can't run 100 miles an hour, so you're going to run 60 miles an hour. So then you lose the next game. And then you're running again. Then you lose. Then you run and you lose.
Yeah, but you think that's their protest, though?
That's the problem. We're in every competition. So you can't keep that pressure up. You just physically can't.
But that's why you need the squad, right? That's why you need the squad of players rather than just the individuals or the first 11. You've got to have a big enough squad that's going to do that, and that's why I think we need to bring more players in that are ready for now rather than players that are ready for the future. I'm sure, I've seen Archie Gray up close. I think he's a phenomenal player. I think he could be really, really good for us. But he hasn't cemented down a spot in the team as to where he's actually going to play. He's being played, across the back line, whereas, we think he's supposed to be a midfielder and so on, that kind of thing.
Which is where he's going to have to go. He'll have to go there because Bentancur will be out, so he's going to have to go in there.
Well, that's what you're kind of hoping, that he gets an opportunity to play in his favourite position to really do, to show what he's about and to show his worth. I mean, he's 40 million quid for an 18-year-old kid. But they're buying him now at that because they don't want to have to try to pay 100 million for him in a season or so when he's really broken through. But then, if you're holding him back by not allowing him to play where he's most comfortable, then you're doing the lad a disservice, and you're putting pressure on the other players, like you're just saying about them having to play every week to play, to play that way. So it's a really difficult one. I just want to quickly move on. Sorry, I just want to quickly move on because we've mentioned Bentancur, and him going to be out for seven matches, 6 Premier League, one Carabao Cup. Have you guys all watched the interview where he said the and I put it in inverted commas, the racist comment? Have you actually seen what he did?
Yeah.
Stupid. No. It was stupid. It was flippant, and he thought it was funny because he was like having a go at his teammate, and like he apologised to Sonny about it. But you can't do that on live TV. But I've said to you in the past, right? These fuckers are so stupid that if they couldn't kick a ball, they wouldn't work in McDonald's, right? Because they haven't got the IQ or the brain power. You know, to come out and say that something like that on national TV about one of your teammates and friends is absolutely ridiculous. He's brainless.
I think they said on the radio though. I mean, I haven't seen the clip, but their culture, obviously where he comes from, it's not viewed as a racist comment. And because he was at home on the home network, he thought he could get away with it. But it's only the bigger picture, the wider picture, as in the bigger world, that will find it offensive. So,
Yeah.
so they don't find it offensive in his own country, but obviously we find it offensive over here. And he has apologised to Son, and Son, if you listen to the interview with Son about it, Son was like, we're all human, we all make mistakes. He still loves him, he still considers him a friend. He realises that he knows now that that the world doesn't sing from the same hymn sheet as such, and he did apologise to Son. And Son's accepted his apology. So it was silly of him to say that in England, but apparently not silly for him to say that in his home country.
I mean, I know people from all over the world. I've got a lot of friends from all over, including South America. We used to take in students, international students here in Bournemouth, and they live with you as a family and learn about your culture and all the rest of it. And some of the comments that they would say, like you'd literally have to stop and go, whoa, you can't say that. And I'm going back a lot of years now, and it's got even worse since then. But I don't condone any kind of racism and all the rest of it. But surely there has to be some sense in this that the guys in Uruguay, in a different environment, talking to different people, he made a flippant comment about essentially basically saying, I can get you a Sunny shirt, but then it could well be his cousins because they all look the same. All right, now I'm assuming he's just having a giggle with the guy, right? But like for that to have happened all the way over there and so on, how is that required 7 matches banned for his football club for saying something as innocuous as that, when there are alleged rapists in the league and wife beaters and all the rest of it that we've seen over the years that are allowed to kind of play on and nothing ever gets said about it. And like I say, I'm absolutely against any kind of level of racism, but I mean, there's racism and there's casual kind of, I suppose it's casual racism, but innocuous kind of stupid joke. I don't know. Maybe I'm way out of whack, but I just think 7 matches for that seems really, really harsh.
They've had to. So go on, Mason. No, go on.
I've been seeing people on the news saying how even rival fans and other clubs think that Bentancur's been made a example.
Scapegoat,
that's what I've been seeing through the news online. Everything apparently that people kind of taken back by it, saying, "Well, okay, players like this can play, but Bentancur's got a 7-match ban." I think we can appeal it. I mean, that's what Daily Mail said, that we can appeal it. I do think he's been made an example of, but it's just a shame, really. Like you can't be making those comments anyway, especially what Dean says. He's a professional. You can't be that stupid. Like I get it's a home setting in Uruguay, and they make those jokes quite a bit or whatever. You just don't say that on TV though, because it's going to come bite you in the arse.
No, but again, though, he's at home. He's at home. He's on holiday. He's into the way they live. He's bantering with his friends. So he's gone on national telly, and because he's relaxed and he's on national telly and he's in a different country, he said that what most people would say in that country. It's only when he comes over here that it seemed as a racist comment. And yeah, you are right. Definitely, he has been made a scapegoat, because obviously, like you say, you've got the beaters and the rapists. The only difference being is they don't do it on TV, and we have to find out later on through the papers. But I think he has been made an scapegoat. But I think in content, he's been taken out of content to a degree, because he's in a different country. Still wrong, but
now the thing is, right? What do they do now, and what have they been doing before every game?
Oh God, don't on that bloody knee.
no taking a knee, right? So
Yeah.
and it goes around the stadium. No room for racism. No room for racism. No
But
room
we
for
know
racism.
that. We know that.
He can't then go, right? He can't then go.
That-
No room for racism. Take the knee. Do that. Oh yeah, that's all right. It's just flipping comment because it
no, but
flies
what
into
I
it
mean,
flies
but
into
what I mean
hang
is,
on now. Aaron, it flies
yeah,
in the
yeah,
face of everything that they are trying to do to make everybody sort
yeah,
of
yeah.
feel
No, I
safe.
agree. I
Right,
agree.
but
I just,
it is what it
it's
is.
just
It's
that,
done. And you know, we've
yeah.
either got to repeal it or we've got to suck it up.
I just think, I mean, he was silly in doing it, but again, he was relaxed in his own country, and obviously he knows his mistake now. But no, you
I agree.
are
Listen,
right.
I think you're. I think we're all on the same side, right? We're all saying he was stupid. He shouldn't have done it. It's not right. I guess the question really is a 7-match ban for that really what's required for something as in that realm? I mean, if someone did something worse than that, how far does it go? Like, what are you going to give? So say for instance, you find a player who kicks a cat across the room, posts it all over his social media. What level of ban are you going to give to him? What level of ban are you going to give to him? Surely his club would have dropped him and not played him and all the rest of it. Bissouma doing his silly balloons.
Well,
Surely there has to be a level of consistency. And I just think when you're going this high at 7-match ban for that, God forbid someone does something
serious.
slightly worse than that. Well, where does that leave them?
Looking at it now,
like Dean said, no one likes us, but we don't care. No one likes us.
Sorry.
well, looking at it now, Zuma only got 180 hours of community service. I just looked it up. I don't think he got a ban for anything.
No.
180 hours community service he got. Banned for having cats for 5 years as well.
And he played the next game for that club that he plays for.
Yep,
or played
he did,
for.
Yeah.
So they weren't even bothered about it. And that's animal cruelty. So that's okay, I guess. So it's a bit of a it's a stupid one. It's a stupid thing to do.
Yeah.
But I just wonder whether 7 matches, because I mean that's just going to hurt. That's just going to hurt the club rather than the player. It's cost him $100,000 as well, which is nothing when you're getting $100,000 every week. He can get away with that. So, but listen, I know time's ticking on. I just wanted to have a word with you, Mason. This talking of Koreans, and I'm not saying they all look the same, by the way. But we got this young lad, Min Hook Yang, I believe, if I've said that right. I don't know if I've even said that right. He's due to come to us in January, but apparently the K-League has finished, or J-League is K-League, isn't it? The K-League is finished, and so they're talking about him coming early. What do you reckon? Is that good news for us?
I reckon it's good news because we get to see one certain man kind of, take back a bit and go, right, mate, come on. They've got more competition here for when Son's out and so on. But then again, is he going to be another youngster to rot on the bench? He's had a great season. I must admit, I don't sit there and watch it. I don't watch the K-League, but all of these accounts that give you an update on loanees or players that we're looking at and so on. I think he started, I think it's a 98% of all matches this season. I also want to say that he's had about 20 goal contributions and he's only, 17, 16? He's got a good character, apparently, according to Son. Son said, study English, work hard, and don't be too scared of the Premier League because it is hard, but it's a lot of hard work and it'll pay off. I think he's going to do very well for us, but I don't know. I still don't understand the position he plays. I know he's a forward, but is he on the left? Is he on the right? I think he's on the right, but I don't know if he's a left. I don't know if he's centre. But
I think he's right-sided from what I've read. And you're right. I think he's actually 18 or just 18. But he's won a load of awards as the best young player in the league and all the rest of it. Youngest player to score 2 goals or something like that. There's a bunch of them. But I wasn't sure. I was like, I wasn't sure where he plays. But apparently he plays on the right hand side, where Johnson plays, I guess. So it does kind of give us a little bit more strength on that side where we're kind of in need of it, I guess. So I think it's a good thing in terms of getting another player in. But again, it's another 18-year-old kid that's unproven in the Premier League.
Looking at it now, I've just got his stats up here. Yeah, 17 goals and assists in 37 games. So that's a goal contribution every nearly every 2 games. But it's just 89% of minutes. He's always started. Yeah, he seems like a good buy, but it's just we all said that about Gray, Bergvall, and every other youngster coming through. I just want to see them get minutes, and we are seeing them get minutes in the Europa League, but even then, that's cut short.
Yeah. No, I get it. Hey, listen, we've hit an hour. We've been chatting away. It's gone really, really quickly. To be fair, it's been an interesting chat. I just want to get your score predictions for the weekend. Dean, what are you saying? Man City, Tottenham. What's your score?
We're going to win 2-1.
2-1.
Yep, to us.
Okay, Alex, what are you saying?
I concur with Dean. 2-1.
Mason,
I reckon it's going to be another high-scoring game like last time. I give us a 3-2 or a 3-3. I don't think we drop points.
Okay. Well, in my head, I was going for a 1-0, 1-0 lucky win. But the trouble is, I know we don't keep clean sheets like Dean says in a nursing home. We don't do it, do we? We don't keep clean sheets. So it's got to be something like a 2-1 really. But in my head, for some reason, I've got a 1-0. But listen, we're all confident. We're all glad to have our Tottenham back after the debacle of Ipswich. We're all over it. We're all over that now. It's all good. It's all good. It's only a game. So now we're moving on to bigger and better things. We're off to Manchester, to the Etihad to see if we can beat the champions and keep their poor run going before we move on to the next game after that. Anyway, listen, it's been an hour. I want to say thanks, guys, for all coming on. Again, my Essex friends looking across the estuary at each other, waving. Thanks for coming on. Really, really appreciate it. Thank you all who have been commenting in the side there. I'm sorry I couldn't get them all on the screen, but you looked like you were chatting to each other. Thanks to everyone who was watching. The replay of this video will be on YouTube straight after the show, and it will be available on all audio platforms as well. If you've missed some of it and you just want to catch up on what we've been talking about, you can pick that up on your favourite audio platform. I'll put that on straight away this evening. But again, thanks to everyone for watching, and we'll see you on the next one. And been a really good time. Thanks a lot for everybody, and we'll catch you later. Up the Spurs.
Go on, Tottenham.